Hey everyone, Mango7 here, how we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. We're going to talk about our alt today, pleasantly named Mangunth1, capital I. I don't know who made up this name, but it's a genius name. I couldn't think of anything better myself. Just to let you guys know, refresh your memory, tomorrow is Sunday summons. We're going to be summoning for Kisei. All the information's right on stream. Pause that if you're interested. If you're not watching this video right as it comes out, this is probably no good for you. So let's go into the actual video. I just want to talk about gear and progression and just talk to you guys because so many people are really confused, and that might be partially my fault. At the start of the game, I just assumed the best thing to really do was gun towards Wyvern right away, and I think that's just incorrect at this point. Obviously that's a pretty good endgame place, but there are very few people actually at that spot, including me. I consider farming Wyvern almost to not be worth it at my stage in the game. So I want to talk with you about some of the gear I use on my characters, and it's pretty similar with every account I've done, and I've done a lot of accounts, and explain the gear choices and kind of decide and help you guys find your gear up until Wyvern. And one thing I want to say too is you shouldn't even be really considering a Wyvern 10 team until like, I would say like 55 plus rank. Like if you're not rank 50, at least 50 plus, you shouldn't even be considering it at this point. This account has gotten pretty lucky, obviously, as you can see. It is the one I chose to do as my alt, and that's because Chloe is the ultra absolute cutest here. As for artifacts, we've got a Celestine, really lucky to get that, Alessa's Basket, not so lucky to get that, and Abyssal Crown. We don't have any mages, so we're just using the Celestine there. The 5 stars are Meg Chloe Dien, who has pretty not so good gear. I need to work on this. I haven't used her too much. Chloe, Chiron, Kisei, my light and dark scroll outside of the Chloe was Pylus, and then I also have Clury. I've got some other 4 stars like a Surin here I will be building eventually. Lots I'm probably going to be building too. I think that'll go really well with my team. And a bunch of other things here that I don't really care as much about. So as for gear, the biggest thing I see people screw up is try to force sets. Like, people ask me what sets to use on people, and that's really not the way to go about gearing in this game. The way to go about gearing are what stats do I need, and then see what sets work for that. So, for example, Meg Chloe here, I really just want her to be as fast as possible. So the fastest possible set I can do is going to be speed set. She's also my tank, so I want her with as much HP as possible. So that kind of pushes me into a speed set, so I want to do that. As for her subset, it really doesn't matter. So I try to take advantage of a pair of boots that is pretty solid here. I would prefer HP main stat, I would prefer speed main stat, but these are pretty solid. And then because I have no other good combos on my weapon, this weapon is so good that it's worth putting in as a broken set. So don't force your sets. It's really important not to. As for her gear, where I got it from, basically nothing is from Wyvern. Everything is the same that everybody can get, outside of like Ring of a Million if you weren't on for getting this. But this one is free. I think everybody gets it because of that bug. I don't remember where these ones came from, but I'm pretty sure everyone gets this. This is pretty terrible. As you can see, this Moon Amulet with attack percent, this is honestly just here to fill my speed set. I find HP percent next the hardest to get for healers. Even on my main account, I don't have HP percent next. And we have Light of a Million, and we have Ulberid's Boots, and everybody can get Ulberid's Boots in the labs. I can show you kind of where they come from, and I'll try to have a link in the description below to a list of all the lab drops. Next up we have Dien. She's got Wondrous Potion, and she's just got a bunch of trash. She's using a lifesteal set here because why not? It's got 4 speed and 3 HP. That's all we're using from that. She's got this, which is free for everybody. Same with the last weapon we had. It's just like one of the raid pieces of gear. It rolled really, really, really well for her. I'm definitely plus 15 in that. This is a Scorched Amulet. I think this is from the lab. Pretty solid amulet, 19% HP. We've got, I swear that's an amulet. That is not the way a ring looks, but I'll accept that. That is definitely an amulet, right? Like that picture, there's no way that's a ring. Either way, amazing stats. I don't think you've ever seen stats this good before. And this is just to get her speed up. Speed is one of those sets I really think is worth forcing. There's not many other sets that give you that big of a boost from forcing the set. And then we've got our booties here, which are better than mine on my main by a lot, which kind of sucks. And again, I'll be plus 15ing those boots as well. We then have Chloe here. I just love her so much, and she's where all of my resources went. You can see the CP here. Not that CP makes a big difference. You can see my CP here, 27.7, 21k, and then big ol' Chloe here with 43k. She's also got Daydream Joker, since the parts I do struggle with in this game are the Abyss, so why not try to make Abyss easier? She's got Ubered Spear, who I think basically every account should have at plus 12 at least. Such a good weapon, solid stats, and unless you roll all effectiveness, it's pretty insane. We've also got the Hat of Small Miracles, and as long as you're watching this video now instead of later, you'll be able to get this too for free from the event. She's got Dragon Scale Armor. I don't know where this is from, but it's probably from the lab, as everything is that I have. And this is really an important one. A lot of people don't have this for some reason, and this is pretty much a guaranteed plus 15. I don't think any account should skip plus 15 in this, just because it is so cheap to plus 15. Because the eye level, or whatever you want to call it, the tier is so low, it takes very little resources to get this to plus 15. And even if you roll absolute trash like I did, all health and defense, even though we got really good rolls, it's still insane. I'm still using this on my Araminta on my main account, so if you do not have this on one of your main DPSs or your main DPS, you need to get it because it's really good. We also have Ring of the Sacred Hero, and this is one you should probably plus 15 because it's also cheap to upgrade. I think this is from the lab as well. It's from someplace free, that's all I know. And if you get good rolls, as in all crit and all crit damage, you should probably plus 15 it too, since it's pretty hard to get a crit set attack ring like that. That's going to be better. I also have these Pegasus Boots, which again are from the lab, I believe. And I got insane rolls. It's pretty hard to get better rolls than this, but if you get decent rolls, either lots of health, lots of attack, or lots of crit chance, it's definitely worth at least plus 12ing those. And next up, we have Chiron, and Chiron's using my lifesteal set here. And all of these are obviously from the Abyss there, this one too. And I'm just breaking into the next set, so I'll be able to put a higher level set on soon. And we have this one here, which I think is from the lab again. If they're not from the lab, they're from the story mode, so as long as you're clearing the story, you should be getting all these items. And my Kisei with a good ol' Alexa's basket. She's got crit chance neck here. Obviously the Uberids would be much better. And she's got the PvP ring. I think the PvP ring is worth buying over anything else, because getting 50% attack and either pretty good defensive stats or some crit or effective resistance is definitely worth it. And you can see again, we're using it as a broken set. We don't even have an attack set on her. We're just doing pretty much pure broken at this point, because getting this 50% attack, my next best ring is just, it's more than an entire attack set just from that one piece. So we're also using the Abyss weapon here. We're using Uberid's Helm, another one from the lab. Everybody should have this at least up to plus 12, I think. And we have just a random crit chance chest here with some speed booties to get some more health in. So she's also pretty durable. 6k HP at 5-star is actually pretty solid. And that's one thing you really should focus on, I think, is making sure your DPS has bulk, especially if you want to live through Abyss stages and bosses, because you're going to die in one hit if you don't. And then we have these two. I don't really have gear on them whatsoever. I don't really touch them. Outside of Uberid's armor, you can guess where that's from. That's from the lab. So that's the gear on this account. And just to show you how far we've progressed, we have Abyss 54, and we're honestly stuck on Abyss 54 just because we'll go through the front page, and this is where we're going to get a bunch of gear to. Abyss 54 has, I love that, 2 mushrooms, and then it has the big AoE phase next. I had no problem with 50 actually, but I had a lot of problems with 54, and I'm trying to beat it today. I should be able to get through, and once I get that through, I've got like just the mother load of gear coming up, and that's really gonna boost up my account. As for the lab, we've got 100% on the first one here. We've got most of the stuff on the second one here, and we're just moving into the third, but I don't think we can take the third stage yet. So we're going to go back and clear other places. And for the Uberid pieces, if you haven't got them, I'll try to have that link in the description below. They're all from these stages. So for example, if we are to go into here, the way to do it is just to look at the map. To be entirely honest, anywhere that's like this, you see like a little bump somewhere that doesn't look like it leads anywhere, there's probably a treasure chest or a warp gate or something in there, and something is going to give you a good drop. And that's where you get most of this gear. So if we were to look at Zone 3, for example, I can't remember which items are where, but we can open it up here and see there's a little side thing right here. There's probably an item there, and maybe one up here. And if we go to 4, go through here, and you can honestly go through these labs in 1 to 2 tries each, getting those items, especially if you're over leveled. You can see there's going to be a chest right here. There's probably going to be a chest right here, and there's probably going to be a chest right here. So it's pretty easy to tell on the maps where you should be going to get your thing. And you need to be doing that because that's where all your early level power comes from. You can get those Uberids set, the Uberid's neck, the Uberid's other thing right at the start of the game, and it's really going to boost you up. So I just wanted to do that. Short little, actually I guess this is long at this point, long little video just about my alt characters, showing you how I'm progressing, showing you what I'm upgrading, and giving you an idea. And every single account I make is going to basically look like this at this point. The really strong pieces of gear you get are going to carry you, and those are the gears that are going to matter. So for example, the way I gear this is I find one tank if I can and give them my best gear. So my one tank is going to get my Light of a Million every single time. I'm also probably going to force a speed set because of Light of a Million. I always forget the name. It's also very helpful if that tank is a healer like Angelica or Destina or anybody, Hazel even with Prophetic Candle. I'm also going to try to give them my best pair of defensive boots or speedy boots just to make sure they survive, because they're going to take the brunt of everything. And then I'm also going to have one DPS to carry me, and that DPS is going to have the Uberid set, it's going to have Uberid's Spear, it's going to have the Hat of Miracles now, it's going to have Uberid's Amulet, and it's going to have Ring of Sacred Hero. And this is the same every time. My main DPS is always going to have these sets here, and then I'm going to use the chest as filler. You cannot get attack percent on chest, so it's really good as just a set filler. If you're going to fill a set, make sure it's on the chest. And then I try to use my Pegasus Boots, which again every account has, as the boots if possible. And then for the leftovers, I just kind of fill in the gaps. You usually have one person that can also use Abyss, so you're very, very big damage healer I do on Ulbrids. And then the other one that I use alongside, I put on Abyss. And then the fourth unit can just use a mix of everything. To be perfectly honest, if I moved this Sock of Small Miracles over to Maid Chloe, I'd be in much better of a position. And then I could switch out this for something else, but I don't want to do that yet. And same with this here too. I could definitely use that on Maid Chloe as my tank, and then switch out the weapon or something like that back to DN. But the point of this is just to say, this gear is going to carry you until the end of time. Like, until, like, so long, at least until you're rank 50. And then at rank 50, as you've seen in my previous videos, you're going to get a lot of your gear from the shop, from this little duder right here. He is the stealer of all your money. Wow, if that was HP percent, I would have bought that. He's the stealer of all your money, and he's going to provide you with all the accessories you really need. So I just wanted to get that clear. Hopefully that helped you guys out. I do want to say that Wyvern, you need to put that in the back, put golems in the back, put everything in the back. The way I progress through this game is, number one, I find events. I make sure anything limited time I'm doing. So for example, the primary thing I'm absolutely looking at right now are these small miracles. I'm looking at clearing the shop out on both of those, and I'm looking at this Sarala and making sure I'm getting that. 100% first thing I do on every account, assuming I can finish it in time. The next thing I do is make sure I get 10-10 done. And then the next thing I do is just literally farm catalysts until the end of time. Farm as many catalysts in as many places as possible and get up to rank 50 as fast as you can. That is the absolute goal. My best recommendation is 4-9 on World if you can, because Blazing Souls are needed for Yuna and a bunch of other things. But it really doesn't matter where you're going. For example, I'm also farming this stage here. We will go back to stage 1. I'm also farming 1S2 because it does drop this shield insignia here, or fighter medal here, and it also drops some other things that I need. I do need these Blazing Rages, and it also has 2 plants to farm for Clury, so it doesn't really matter where you're farming, but I aim for something with an epic catalyst and go from there. So I know this has been a long sort of talk video, but hopefully this really helped you out. If you have any direct questions, please let me know in the comments below. I really think as long as you're farming catalysts with 1 to 2 fodder or 3 to 4 fodder even, depending on where you are, you're gonna be fine. And it doesn't really matter where you do it as long as you're doing it somewhere and spending your stamina, not sitting at cap like I am right now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. I'll see you all later. Bye!